Well, imagine if many years ago we bought all of those cards and that now I would be so rich, man. That would be so fun. I would have bought all the LOB Blue Eyes at 20 bucks. Why did no one else do that? Why did no one see that? I wish I had done that. Welcome to the Solemn Yu-Gi-Oh channel where we discuss everything collecting and investing in Yu-Gi-Oh and sometimes just collectibles at large. Now, I already covered this stuff in my previous video, so be well aware, this market barely exists. Cardfight Vanguard barely has a collector's market. Does it have collectors? Yes, I am one of them. But compared to other card games, there's no, oh, we're gonna grade this and we're gonna flip this box for 1,000 and now it's 5,000 and anything like that. This collector's market doesn't exist. It's just your normal, organic, oh yeah, I collect my cards. This card, I like it. It's 60 bucks. That's my collection. That is as far as the collector's market goes in Vanguard. And so I'm making this video to show a point. I see very often on this channel when we discuss some of the old Yu-Gi-Oh cards and even Pokemon and MTG, just these big card sales. People say, oh, I used to have this card. If only I knew. Or, oh, so many years ago, I would have totally bought 10 copies of this card and now I would be rich. But the thing is, that is such a ridiculous fallacy. That is like saying, wow, if I knew the lottery numbers from 30 days from now, I would have totally written those down. Of course you would have. But for every single opportunity like that, there's 30,000 opportunities that go completely wrong. And so looking back, of course it's easy. Of course it's obvious that Yu-Gi-Oh boomed. Of course it's Pokemon. Oh, of course Pokemon boomed. Of course MTG boomed. But when things are cheap, you do not consider that they might boom. You do not even see in your head that the price might go 20x or 100x. Because at the time that those prices are so low, it seems justified. And you tell yourself, well, this is going nowhere. Why would I put so much money into something that clearly is not going nowhere? And that is where we come to this. Now again, last video, I was telling you very clearly, this market doesn't exist. I'm not telling you to go be a Timmy and buy this stuff. But when you look at this market right now, and you see Spirit Exceed, second set ever, SP, harder to pull than everything, Metal Raiders, Magic Ruler, Pharaoh, Servant, and whatever the fuck. You know, way harder to ever pull this card once than any of the shit in all of the classic Yu-Gi-Oh sets. How much is it? $11. If I tell you right now that you can go buy Spirit Exceed, much harder to pull than all the Yu-Gi-Oh cards that we ever talk about on this channel, for $11, why aren't you? Well, you'll give me 20,000 reasons. And those reasons would be perfectly valid. What would the reasons be? Cardfight Vanguard isn't as old. Cardfight Vanguard is only 10 years old. 10 years is quite a bit. 10 years, you know, for a card game, that's a long ass time. This card is almost 10 years old. But you tell me 10 years is still not enough. You tell me this card game is only the 4th card game. And it's not like the top 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! MTG Pokemon. You tell me this buyer's base is way smaller. You tell me this card game had no anime that the kids grew up on. And you tell me all these reasons, and these reasons are perfectly valid. But 5 years ago, when you could buy Yu-Gi-Oh!, there were a bunch of other reasons you could name, and they were also perfectly valid. 8 years ago, when you could buy Pokemon Charizard's first edition for a few hundred, you could also name various reasons as to why you shouldn't buy that. MTG in 94, you could name various reasons why you shouldn't fucking buy all of these cards at all of these prices. Now, am I telling you that this game is going those places? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm trying to show you that when a market doesn't exist, it is extremely cheap to buy up a lot of stuff in that market. But that doesn't mean that at the time of you potentially being able to buy that is such an obvious move to make. Looking back, everything is obvious. Right now, I could tell you, well, if you want to buy the Dark Magician of this game, it's Blaster Blade SP BT01. You want the LOB Dark Magician? Here he is. You want the Blue Eyes? Alright. Here's your BT01 Dragonic Overlord. Yeah, you can go buy him right now. But you would be a fucking Timmy. Or maybe you're a fucking genius. That's also possible. Maybe 5 years from now, this will have its own collector's market, and you not clicking buy on the, I don't know, what is it, $180 for this card on TCG Player right now, maybe you're a fucking idiot for not having taken that. Or maybe, if you did end up buying that for $180, you're a Timmy, and the card never ever went up because there was never a collector's market for the 4th biggest card game. Both options are perfectly valid. And so in the present, it can still go both ways. But you can't fucking say X years from now, oh, well, I knew. Well, no, you didn't know. No one knew. If you, at the time, in 2005, were doing what Rudy, Alpha Investment, was doing, and you were buying up all the MTG cards for hundreds, and you looked like a Timmy, no one thought that a card of a few $100, a fucking piece of cardboard of a few $100, was gonna go to multiple thousands. No one thought that LOB Blue Eyes, when he was $200, was underpriced. Everyone thought, LOB Blue Eyes, $200? Are you fucking stupid? Well, right now, you seem like a genius. But it could have gone the other way. And you can't know. You literally cannot know. Right now, there's a million reasons why buying this is fucking stupid and a huge Timmy move. And yet maybe, X years from now, this will be worth a ton. Or maybe it won't. And maybe anyone who owns these cards was either a Timmy or someone who truly loved them because they love the game. I would be the second option, and maybe the first a little as well. But when the market doesn't exist, it doesn't seem sexy. It's only when all the Teslas are booming and the cryptos are booming and the solar and the EV, suddenly everyone's an investor. The S&P 500 has not really seen dips for 12 years. And so everyone is now an investor because for 12 years, all the money was free anyway. So everyone's now an investor. Do you think it was sexy to be an investor in 2003? No, it fucking wasn't. The market had only gone down for 3 years straight. You were a loser for 3 years straight. And so no, it wasn't sexy. You couldn't make YouTube videos about investing because all you could show was fucking carnage. But hey, 2021, everything has been up, up, up. Look at all these gains. Look how smart I am, right? It's the same thing. All of these prices are super relative. It's only the fourth biggest card game. Its buyer base is way smaller. The game is only 10 years old compared to the 18 or 19 years on Yu-Gi-Oh!, 25 years of Pokemon, and the however many years MTG has been going. And so of course there's a bunch of arguments for why this doesn't exist and shouldn't exist. Of course. And I agree with them. But simultaneously, 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was a bunch of arguments against all the others. And there will always be a bunch of arguments against all the others and against this. And unless you take a side, you will always be out. Once again, if you saw my previous video, this market doesn't exist. I'm not telling you to do this. This is just a great example to show why it's a total fallacy to think, wow, man, I would have. Oh man, I totally would have. Oh man, imagine if I would. No, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to look like this. Pokemon used to look like this. MTG used to look like this. No one was hoarding stuff. If you are hoarding stuff that isn't worth anything, that very few people care about, because note, Pokemon was actually on a decline when SM Pratt was buying shit up. It wasn't a hot era for Pokemon cards when he started hoarding everything. Alpha Investments, MTG Finance wasn't really a thing when Rudy was hoarding shit. The biggest moments of opportunity are when it is super unsexy and fucking stupid to hoard shit. Now, that doesn't mean that this will work, okay? That doesn't mean that at all. But it's the best example I can possibly give you. This was another video from Mr. Timmy. This is a small bit of my personal collection. Just a card game that I really enjoy playing. And over the years, I just happened to accrue some stuff. Some of this is recent, like this binder, and this is recent. But a lot of this I've just had for a century. Fucking love Nitros. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.